Good afternoon. Well, good morning, I guess. Okay, we are set up, I think. I need some fan action, though. It's only, about 90 degrees out here and very, very humid today. Let's see if I can get it up, get the live up in front of me here. Always seems to be a lag or something with YouTube. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe it's just on my end. It's very odd to me that the live stream does not come up. Maybe it's the AI out there and they're watching to see if I'm an actual person as opposed to some sort of robot or something trying to, I guess, set up a live where there's not actually a person on. It looks to me like everything is Roman. We've got 21 people on here. M. Jones loves to smoke. Hey, buddy. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing? Still trying to get this up in front of me here so I can actually see comments and things. I think what I need to do is switch my account and to go back to my account and see if that kind of reloads YouTube, I guess. Very, very odd. I assume that I'm live. I'm assuming that you guys are out there so that because you actually responded, but it's just weird to me that it doesn't come up quickly. By the way, how is the volume today? Can you actually hear me on here? Because I switched to a mic because folks were telling me that they could not hear me on the live stream. And is there any wind noise? There we go. I've got it. Okay, looks like I am actually up on the screen. Leroy, how you doing? Richard, hey. Mike, I love RobMotive. Well, I am flattered to hear that. We are here. We are live. Volume is clear. Sounds good. I've got this little microphone. You probably can hear me tapping on there, right? Got this little remote microphone thing going on. Not loud enough. I find that very hard to believe. You must need to turn up the volume on your device because everybody else is saying it's coming through loud and clear. Bob England, hi. Taco Driven is awesome. Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about the name. We're going to be changing that back because I had an epiphany, and that is that the brand is RobMotive, right? It's been that way for 7 or 8 years. And when I say changing it back, I mean changing it back on the Facebook group. Because I've already done that here on the channel. You guys can see it's called RobMotive now, right? So I'm going to share the live stream. Let me do that. Gotta spread the word. Let's post it there. And then I have to go back over here. All of this behind the scenes stuff that unfortunately it doesn't seem you can really do it behind the scenes. So I'm going to share it to the group now, for anybody out there who's on the group that wants to say hey. Let's say live now on YouTube. And let's go ahead and paste the link, share the thing, there we go. And it's loading, it takes a couple minutes. So you guys can work through this with me as I set it up. It should be over on in the Facebook group now. Excuse me. So anybody that's out there, if anybody's joining from the Facebook group, make sure you say hey, let me know. I'd be curious to see if people actually join from the group. That would be pretty cool. I'm going to share it to the old Twitter. There, I've shared it to the Twitter. I am done doing administrative garbage. I hate administrative stuff, right? Except for editing and uploading. That's kind of fun, but honestly, that's administrative as well. We're going to talk about the title of this video or this live stream in a minute, that the 2025 Toyota Tacoma is junk. I have gotten a few comments to that effect recently, and we got to talk about this. I actually shot a video on it yesterday, And after looking back at the video, I thought, nah, this is something we need to discuss in a live stream format, because the video, I was bored with the video. So I'm not gonna put it out there for you guys to watch, but I was bored with it myself. One more time, I just want to check the volume. How is the volume? Is everything coming through? Somebody said the sound was not loud enough. Copy, loud and clear. Cool. Hi. Oops. Let's see. Walter says hi. M. Jones, I agree. RobMotive is a better name. It doesn't lock you into one vehicle if you ever wanted to change. That's a very good point. I have no plans to change. I mean, I love the Tacomas, and now that we have the 2025 out here, it's awesome. And I also have a question for you guys regarding mods and parts and stuff. I'm actually started to work with a company about some stuff, and I want your opinion on this in a minute. Ricardo, haters gonna hate, right? Oh, you know it. What do you think about this year's TRD Pro Color? Mud Bath, I think it's called. I like it. I think it's pretty slick. Actually, I believe, let's see, have I seen one? I thought maybe I had seen one somewhere, I don't know. But I do know a couple of people that have them, and they're pretty darn slick, man. Bob England says volume is good, similar to your phone case color. Not really. Let's see. Jonathan says it's good, sound is good. Ricardo's out. I don't know what that means. You just got here. What do you mean you're out? What the heck? Damon Ortiz, how have you been? Nice Toyota, thank you. I've been good. You? Jeff Sigmund, not the 2026 light blue color. Oh no, the 2026. Oh, this color. I think it's gonna feel really fatty. F-A-D-D-Y. Not fatty, but fatty. Oops, we got a wasp in here. Oh, I gotta get my wasp control device. Hold on. I'm gonna kill it. Well, if the damn thing lands. Now it's ugh. Oh shit. Shoot. Sorry. I hate wasps, and this one seems to like me. Okay. I think I just got goosebumps. Look at that. I got goosebumps. Look at that. I hate wasps, man. Anyway, it left. It'll be back. I had some giant frickin' wasp or bee in here yesterday. The thing was like a tank. I've never seen one. I think it's the one that eats tarantulas. It flew in here, and it was flying around, and I tried to hit it with my wasp control device, and it flipped me off and flew out the door. That sucker was big, let me tell you. How have you been? Yeah, I think that color might be kind of fatty. We'll see. I don't know. I have to see it in person. We need catless downpipes for these. Stay tuned. Eric D, I'm assuming the title is sarcasm to stick it to the haters. We're going to get to that in just a second. Zach, UNC, what happened to your orange Toyota? I traded it, and it was Terra, wasn't orange. I traded it for this Blue Crush Sport, which I love. Best trim, in my opinion, is the TRD Sport. Best color, of course, is Blue Crush, because, you know, I have it. Catless downpipes would be obnoxiously loud, which is okay for the look. It's okay for the look at me crowd. I get it. Yeah. Mike Wellington, the wasp mutilating AK-47. Yeah, right. Could you imagine? The house would be Swiss cheese, because I'd just be, I wouldn't know when to stop. Bob England, fang lights, what's your opinion, yay or nay? I don't hate them, but I don't love them. I don't know, you know, there's a lot, if you do it right, and I mean not breaking out the existing covers, you got to take the front of the truck off, man. And it's a lot of work for something that I think is prone to failure. I've seen a lot of reports from people out there who have done these and then they failed on them. I don't dig that. You know, I surely wouldn't want to tear the whole front end of my truck off, put these lights in, and then 3 days later, that one doesn't work anymore. I mean, could you imagine? That would suck. So I don't know, man. I'm neither here nor there, though. Let's see, Mike Wellington. Paired with the stock catback, it will not be loud. I know plenty of guys who run catless on their EcoBoost, and they sound near stock. Yeah, it depends on how you set it up, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a catless pipe expert by any means, but yeah, it's all about how you set things up. So let's talk about a couple things. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma is junk. I've had 2 emails recently. One guy, and I'm not going to name him and I'm not trying to identify him in any way, but in the group asked me if he should buy a new Tacoma, a 4th gen, because a friend of his who works at Chevy says that there's a lot of problems with the 4-cylinder turbo. And, you know, I get defensive when things are brought up that aren't true. It's just fake news, man. It's fear-mongering. Probably by, and this guy works at Chevy, right? He'd like to sell Chevys. He's not a salesman. But anyway, he makes his money through the Chevy brand, so I can see why he might dog another brand, right? Which just happens to be the #1 mid-selling Tacoma, or mid-sized truck, I should say, in the world. But anyway, he says that there's a lot of problems. So I got to thinking, and I asked the question, or I asked him to ask his friend, what are all these problems that no one should buy a 4th gen Tacoma? I haven't seen a response yet. But anyway, what has gone wrong with the Tacoma? Bona fide things. Now, there's always little, ticky-tacky things that happen, particularly in a 1st or 2nd model year. We all know this, right? Until these vehicles get out in the world and people can actually put them through their paces, the things that we do that maybe the engineers didn't really think about, like kicking the doors when you get in and out, slamming the seat belt against the plastic, knocking off trim pieces because frankly we're just too rough. I'm talking about bona fide things. There was a part in the transmission from the big guys out there. They bought one, took it out, put it through its paces to the extreme, in my opinion, and popped, I can't remember the specific part names and stuff, so bear with me, but broke a part that's supposed to break in the drive line if there's too much torque on it, right? That's to protect the rest of the suspension. It's designed that way. If anything, it could be that it was a little weak, this part. I don't know what the result was. Or it could be that they were putting the truck through an environment or different uses, I guess, that it's not really intended for. I mean, you're not supposed to take your truck out, get it spinning 90 miles an hour on ice, and then it slowly moves forward, grabs the pavement or the dirt, and all that hits, right? Because all of a sudden that freewheeling spinning on ice is stopped. Something's going to break, and it did, and it's supposed to. That's not an engine problem, though. This guy said 4-cylinder engine problems, the turbo engine. Okay. We have the brake line problem in the rear for 2024, maybe some 25s, I'm not sure, Tacomas that had 17-inch tire or wheels. I've heard that that was expanded into 18s as well. I'm not sure. But if you didn't know, there is a recall on that. Toyota, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, just started phase 1, because there's a lot of trucks, of repairing those. And all that they're doing is putting in, I believe it's a little bit shorter, more robust brake line. So something more heavy duty. Personally, I think that's a Band-Aid. It's still in the area from the pictures that I've seen. I think what they should have done is rerouted the brake line so that it was inside, not protruding out into the wheel. Because that's the problem. The brake line was into the wheel area, and anything that got caught in there, like mud, ice, stones, wood, you name it, is going to spin and is going to hit that brake line and break it. You're going to lose your brakes. At least the rear brakes initially. You're going to lose them all because they're all brake fluid, right? And it's going to come out. So anyway, they're fixing that problem. I've heard people complaining that they've called the dealer and the dealer says they have no fix. That's because they're doing it in phases. So you kind of have to be patient. Is it right? No, it's not right. It sucks. But that's not an engine problem. What else is there? There's a TSB out on the early 2024 Tacomas with the transmission. A little drink of the green nectar there. And that is that there could have been manufacturing or machining sludge, pieces, parts, whatever, left in the transmission that could cause failure or problems. It's not every Tacoma. It involves, I think, 100 and some thousand. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe. If you have a problem, there's a TSB, which is a technical service bulletin that Toyota says they'll fix, and it's to let the dealerships know there's a potential problem. That's what a TSB is really for, although we all find out about it anyway, right? But that's not an engine problem. I have not heard of one engine problem. So I don't know. If you guys have, leave a comment down below and let me know. Have you heard of big engine problems? I don't know. I think this guy is more thinking about the Tundra, which has machining sludge or parts or debris left in the engine after manufacture of the Tundra 6-cylinder turbo engine, not the Tacoma. So I think this guy might have been confused. I don't know. Let's back up a bit here. Wow, I gotta catch up. You guys are getting ahead of me. Eric, that's hilarious that any GM guy would talk smack about the Toyota Tacoma with all of their engine and transmission issues. I know, right? What the hell is a Chevy guy doing talking about a Tacoma? First thing I'd have said is, what would you buy, a Chevy? I mean, come on, man. Ronnie Gray, people are hating so hard on every new generation of rides. I know. I don't get it. It's like they want to stick in the horse and buggy days. Keyboard warriors are insufferable. They are. It's funny how many there are. Mike, with the exception of the bad batch of transmissions, these 2.4 liters are flawless. I have 8 informants high up. Not one failure or major problem on these new engines. That's what I'm talking about. Granted, I'll admit, the transmission, we know about that, right? Engine problems? That's a bunch of BS. Haven't seen it, and you're confirming that. Jeff Sigmund, out of all brands of vehicles, what is your all-time favorite color, whether you've owned it or not? Voodoo blue. That's easy. Well, let's back up. Voodoo blue is tied with black cherry. Now, this black cherry was a custom job on a Charger. Years ago, a friend of mine in high school had this Charger. Obviously, his parents probably bought it. The thing was restored. It was perfect. Had no door handles. I mean, it was one of those jobs, right? And it was freaking awesome. Black cherry. That's a good color. But voodoo blue as well. Mike Wellington, let's see. Between all of the Toyotas and Lexi, with these engines, they have proven their worth since 2022 for the 2023 model year. Right. And that's another thing I think a lot of people don't realize. The engine, the setup that's in the new Tacoma is not new. It's new to the Tacoma, but it's not new to the industry, right? Primetime Edits. What happened to the taco? Somebody ate it, I guess. I don't know. I was a longtime critic and holdout. I traded my 2020 Tacoma TRD Pro for the 2025 Pro. No regrets whatsoever. You would be shocked how many times I've heard that. And it's funny, too, because you hear it a lot from the die-hard key warriors, right? And then I'll see this post. Well, I drove the new Tacoma today, and I traded my truck. And I'm like, wait a minute. You were an extreme hater yesterday. Come on. Let's see. Which car is that? Which car are you talking about? You talking about the blue one? That's a Toyota Tacoma, not a car. Looks like, I don't know what that is. Brand 700. I love both trucks. Still can't get over taking out a great V6. It was a dog. And it's not the truck's fault. It's the way Toyota set it up, right? They set it up to be a dog, and it was a dog. Great truck. Love the looks of the truck. Certainly a bulletproof engine, right? but it's nowhere near as fun as this truck, man. Let's see, Ocean Crest. Hi, Rob. Hey, Ocean Crest, brand 700. And I know a little something about engine sound and performance, having owned a Fox Body Mustang in my past and a manual 911. Awesome. The one and only Nicole. Now, here we have, speaking of keyboard warriors, let's see, let's put that one in timeout for like 24 hours for just being lewd. Chad Kranatz. Hey, Rob, what's up? Hey, Chad, how you doing? Let me guess. You're cooking steaks on the grill. And if you're not, I am disappointed. I eat through you. Brand 700, Primetime Edits. I agree. In a perfect world, I would have kept the V6, but I don't even notice it anymore. How could you? This truck is just so much better. I mean, it is. Chad, I'm just on the beach doing some deep sea fishing. My God, Chad, you have a lot of fun, man. I think Fridays are your excitement days. Wow. Have you caught anything? Eric, I owned a Beretta Z26 years ago, and the color was called Black Rose. I think it was probably very similar to your buddy's Charger. I bet it was. That color was just, it's almost like a deep black cherry. Like you'd pick off a tree, you know? Just awesome. Let's see, 828, Find Adventure. I don't miss that slow V8 one bit. Our 25 Tacoma is fast and quiet. Yes, it's more expensive, but Cokes ain't a nickel anymore. That's true, and I love how people complain about the price. I mean, it sucks. We don't want to pay any more money, right? I didn't want to pay any more money for this truck. I'd rather they just give me one. But let's be realistic, you know, with inflation and improvements and technology and R&D costs. I mean, you know, they just didn't decide one day by looking at a book. They had to create this vehicle, right? I mean, it's all brand new, pretty much. I mean, tires are tires, exhausts are exhausts, you know, except for bending them and stuff. But generally, I mean, it's all brand new, right? So I don't know why people. I mean, if you don't want to spend the money, don't spend the money. You can buy a used one right now for less money. They're out there in the market, of course. Time for another sip of the green nectar. Not sponsored. I keep trying. They don't call me or email me or leave a message down below. They don't. I don't know. That's why you only see the back of the bottle. Now, we have to talk about something else. I am looking at doing some things under the hood of the new Tacoma. A couple of things, more than I've done before in terms of pipes, definitely a cold air intake, maybe some other things as well. Talking with a company right now. They're actually going to send me some stuff to take a look at, which is what I want to do, because honestly, I never want to get behind any product that I don't believe in or that I wouldn't have in my own truck. So some things that I've not done, as I mentioned in the past, because I never had a turbo, for one. So it's going to be interesting for me. All bolt-on type stuff. Nothing that you have to be a master mechanic to do. And that's one of the things that, excuse me, it is always allergies down here. Plus you talk a lot, throat gets going, you know. But anyway, stuff that you can do yourself, right? Things that you can bolt on or stick on, well, not stick on, it would be bolt on, and set up yourself, because I believe a majority of the people out there are of that level. I know there are people that are of much greater level than that, certainly than me, and people that are lower. I'm kind of in the middle, I think, when it comes to mechanical knowledge, let's say. Where was I? Let's catch up a minute. Mike Wellington, I own a different type of Beretta, but that's a topic for another day, yeah. Eric D, as much as I love the 4th Gen Tacoma, I was looking at a new TRD Off-Road Premium 4Runner at the dealer recently, and it's sexy. Depends on what you're into. I'm not really a huge SUV guy. I mean, it's okay. It's not ugly, and it's certainly capable, and it's very expensive. But it's not my thing, you know. I'm just not. David Fisher, it's not about money, however. They are a great truck for older men who just want to cruise around the neighborhood. Me being 55, I can attest to that. However, after a 7-hour trip, I was not impressed. That's funny you say that. Um, I think the interior seating of the Tacoma is much improved over what we had before. In my third gen, I had to put a seat jacker in the front to bring the front up. Not because I'm 4'2", because my legs were being stabbed into in the back by it's hard to describe. It just didn't support me properly without being tilted up a little bit. It always felt weird. I don't have that in the new Tacoma, and I don't have seat spacers or jackers or any of that stuff either. And it feels to me, and I haven't taken a long trip in the truck, so I'm kind of going by what I'm used to, but it seems to me to be pretty darn good. Mike Wellington here. If anyone has any doubts, there's a medical courier who has 25 LC with 80,000 miles. Same engine and transmission, just maintenance. They are well built. Another good example, right? Chad. Oops. People, please give a thumbs up at the top. Just takes a second. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, we have 51 living, breathing bodies, I assume, unless there are AI in here. And I think they could leave a thumbs up too. So if you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button if you would. You can even hit that little heart thing down there on the right a little bit, you know. There you go. I'm the one doing that, by the way. Nobody ever does that. I don't know why. I mean, it's interaction. It must be important for some reason to the channel. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from this person as to what all the big problems are, why the new Toyota Tacoma is junk. To be honest, I really haven't noticed anything subpar on this truck. I'm trying to think. As compared to the third gen. Fit and finish is good. Paint still sucks, same as the third gen. We should pop the hood and see if I have that paint run here on the corners. I haven't done that yet. So we're gonna do that right now, live with you guys. Let me pop the hood. Let's check the quality a little bit. See if there is any evidence of paint runs, because that's a problem that Toyota has had. Of course, we have the hood struts on here, just awesome. Let me get a flashlight, because we want to make sure we can actually see. Did I just catch a critter? No, okay. Thought I saw a critter crawling up the wall. Let's take a look. Uh-oh, I'm not encouraged. Yeah, right there on the corner. How about down here? No, we're looking good here. But right up here on the corner, hopefully you guys can see that, there is a little rough paint action. What about over here on this side? Let's see. No, nothing in the corner there. How about up here? Just a smidge. What is it with Toyota in these corners of their hoods? Let me see if I can show you guys. I don't understand why Toyota can't seem to get this right. I mean, this is a 2025 now, right? Am I going to need a flashlight? Probably. I don't think you guys can see without one. If you look right here on the corner of the truck, do you see that? See how that's rough? See that? That's right there. I mean, what is that? It's like, and it's rough. You can feel it. Excuse me. That's like they just let paint dry. I don't know. I don't know why they're having this issue. We got to take a look under the hood. There's some things that I have got coming, as I mentioned. A couple of pipes that we're looking to possibly change out. Maybe, let's see, right down here. There's one. Right down here, we're looking at potentially doing something with that. We might do something with this. I'm not sure. We'll see. Those would be changed out probably to red, I'm thinking. Over here, we're looking at doing something with the intake. For a while, I was looking at a company for this, but they're currently out of stock. And by chance, someone else contacted me recently who I'm really excited with. I'm not going to tell you guys who it is just yet because I got to try the parts out and all that stuff. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're looking at changing out the cold air intake. We're looking at changing out some of the tubing or the pipes down here. I think, let's see, it's kind of hard to see. Let's grab that flashlight again. It should be pretty cool, I think. Yeah, I believe the two pipes that you can see at the lowest section, not right up here at the top, but lower down, I think. It's hard for me to see down here. Man, we got a lot of piping in here. Look at all that piping running across there behind everything. So we shall see. I don't know. There is something else I probably ought to do that I have not done yet, and that is to check my freaking oil. Why have I not done this? Something I usually do right away. So let's take a look. Do we have any oil in the truck? Sorry, a little bit of a sidebar. Not something I was planning on doing, but it's staring me in the eye, and you need to do these things when you're thinking about it. Oh, good God, man. Well, it's the first time it's been out, at least since I've had it. So, let's see, what do we have? Looks pretty full, looks pretty clean too. Let's do the old stick it back in the hole routine here. Run it down, push it on. By the way, are you supposed to push your oil dipstick in all the way to check the oil, or leave it dangle at the top? What do you think? God, that's stiff. Okay, see what we've got here. I always hate checking these because you can't ever see anything. Yeah, it is dead full right at the top, and you guys won't be able to see this on camera. You probably can see the two dimples in the stick you see there, here and here. I was right at the top there, so we're looking pretty good. I can't believe I haven't done this yet. Wow. I always do that, or try to do it right away, because you never know. The last thing you want to do is buy a new vehicle from the factory, and it's got no oil. So it looks pretty good. I do have the TRD cap on there, you guys can see. Let's make sure, I should check that to make sure it's not leaking. Something else I always want to take a look at when I put something new on. I don't see any shiny bits on there. No. And that is actually a TRD oil cap that I had from my Tundra. A subscriber actually sent that to me years ago, and of course it still fits on the truck, so that's freaking awesome. I love it. It has a gasket underneath. Of course it's aluminum, it's silver, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of, but there's a lot of silver under the truck hood anyway. I mean, everything is silver, a lot of stuff. It's silver black with a little red there. And that's primarily it. So anyway, everything looks pretty good under there to me. I think it's a winner. Now, I did put a, let me shut this. Keeping the wasp from moving in. There we go. And let's have a seat here. Keep my wasp device up there. And let's see. There we go. You know, after you've stood for a while, I don't know. Let's check out some of the comments on here. Let's see, Mike. Mike Wellington, here's the major problem. These tacos completely ruin everything else for you. Yeah, that's true. When you drive a different truck compared to this truck that I have not, but I gotta imagine that you can feel it. I shouldn't say I have not. I, of course, have the Jeep Gladiator over there. For some reason, I never put the Gladiator in the truck category. I don't know why. But before I had the 25 TRD Sport, that Gladiator was rivaling my affection, I guess, for mid-sized trucks. But now that I have the new Tacoma, it's the new Tacoma #1. Brand 700, considering all the doom and gloom, fit and finish videos before mine is almost perfect, no problems at all. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what these people are talking about. Let's see, Mike Wellington, bass boosted dad sneeze, bless ya. Bass boosted, oh, it wasn't a sneeze, it was more of an allergy hack. Let's see, Bill W, seriously, why is the actual MPG so bad on these 4-bangers? It should be much better around town than the V6, not worse. Serious question. Because of what we do to them. I mean, I think that the reason I'm only getting 15.8 miles per gallon is because I put bigger, heavier tires on. I put heavier wheels on. Excuse me. I added rock sliders that weigh 52 pounds apiece. It's 140 pounds of dead weight, 104 pounds. Of dead weight that I'm hauling, right? So between the wheels, the tires, the rock sliders, it's no wonder my fuel economy has dropped. But that's on me, it's not the truck's fault. So I love how people talk about that and ask that question that you just did. But don't take into account the aftermarket stuff they put on the truck. You know, what about things on the India? I mean, everything you put on adds weight, right? And every ounce that you add takes away from, not ounce, but pound, whatever, takes away from the fuel economy. You know, put one of those big horse stall mats in there, and they weigh, I think they probably weigh close to 100 pounds. They're freaking heavy. I bought one of those once. I could hardly lift the thing. Primarily not because of the weight, I guess, though. I mean, they are heavy, but they're so, they want to roll, they want to open. So you're trying to grab the ends of that thing with your hands, and it's wanting to force itself open, you know, because they're about an inch, 3/4 inches thick. They're rubber, they're mats for horses. So obviously they're going to be heavy duty. Got to take another sip here. Man, that's good. But anyway, I think it's because of what we're doing to them. Obviously, if you add more weight to the truck, you're going to decrease your fuel economy. And most, I won't say most people in my arena, which is the channel and the groups, are going to do mods and things that are going to add weight to the truck. So obviously, it's going to reduce fuel economy. By the way, how is the volume now? I've got the fan blowing on me. Are you guys getting wind noise in the mic at all? Or not? I hope not. Mike Wellington. Need Shell 93 octane, I'm telling you. You know, I just read a pretty extensive discussion on different grades of gas for the Tacoma specifically, and the conclusion was that it does you no good. It doesn't matter. It is set up to run 87 octane. Putting 93 in the truck is only giving more money to the oil companies, the gas companies. That's it. It does not benefit your truck to put a higher octane gas in the truck. Excuse me. So that's a myth. It's kind of like running your Tacoma with the tailgate down or putting a tonneau cover on. You know, I can't tell you how many times I read comments from people stating that if you put a tonneau cover on the truck, you're going to get better fuel economy. If you run with the tailgate either off or open, you're going to get better fuel economy. That myth has been busted so many times, but yet, and I know why, it's because it looks like it should be that way, right? I mean, if you put a tonneau cover on and it's not, the wind is not grabbing all the crevices and stuff that are the bed, it looks like you would get better fuel economy. And that's why people think it's true, and it's not. It's simply not true. Mario says, voice volume is good, but yes, do hear wind from the fan. Oh, okay. Well, I can't have that. I don't want you guys to sit here listening to wind blow on me. So I'm going to turn it just a little. Try to deflect it, maybe from the side. There we go. Hopefully that's a little better. It's hot out here. It's like 90 degrees. Let's see. Brand 700, Westcott rock sliders and tonneau covers are going to add quite a bit of weight. Yeah, they have to. I mean, excuse me, maybe not necessarily the tonneau cover, but rock sliders, if they're going to do what they're intended to do, they need to be robust, right? I mean, obviously, they shouldn't be lightweight metal or aluminum, really. Um, so they're going to add weight to the truck. I mean, that simply makes sense, right? So, yeah, they should. Mario, but I understand it's probably hot there. It's already 88 here in Southern California and only 10 a.m. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be, what, 95 there today, I think. I think here it's supposed to be pushing 100, I think. But it's the humidity that's the killer. Eric D, I really thought turbo engines were better off running premium. It depends on how they're set up and designed. I mean, Toyota set the truck up to run 87 octane, which they had to. They couldn't mass produce a Tacoma that burns a more expensive gas. They simply couldn't do it. So burning 93 or anything above 87 doesn't do you any good. You're just wasting your money, I'm telling you. And if you swear that it does something and you think it does, it's a placebo, man. It's in your head. It's not true. Very tasty. Mike Wellington, that is completely false. They showed actual horsepower gains after computer adjustments in real world. Examples are showing slightly better gas mileage to offset the cost of 93. You and I, my friend, will have to disagree on that. Message was held for review, and it should have been. Let's just keep it that way. RH, that's a nice Ford truck you have there. Is that an F-150 or an F-250? It's an F-250. Ford diesel, heavy duty, all the bells and whistles. It's even electric. And I'm pretty sure there's some solar panels on the roof. It's just awesome. Michael Kokoza, hey Rob, happy Friday. Just got done watching that Tacoma by hand, no car wash. Just got done watching that Tacoma by hand, no car wash today. Sorry for coming in late. Hey, I'm just glad you're here at all, man. Yeah, I don't wash cars by hand. I shouldn't say that. I will wash the Tesla by hand, only because I have this stigma about taking it through a car wash because it's electric. And it's stupid because it gets wet in the rain, right? But I have it. So that car will be washed by hand, but it sure isn't going to be very frequently, I can tell you that. Excuse me. Let's see. Do you live in Florida? Yep, I live in Florida in the Everglades. Sometimes you might notice an alligator crawl through. I haven't seen any today. Let's see. Can you show us the solar panels on the roof? You can't see them. They're painted over. They fade. They blend right into the roof. You can't even tell that. It's like they're not even there. It's like they're not even there. I'm just saying. Let's see. I'm going to call you Raj because, frankly, I can't pronounce your first name. I apologize. I have Toyota Helix here. It's very low maintenance. And let's see. Have been driving from 2 years. Love it. Yeah, a lot of people say they love them. And there's a lot of people jonesing for them here in the U.S. It's not going to happen. No way is Toyota going to bring in a competitive model, even if it's their own, against the #1 best-selling midsize truck. It's not going to happen. And I think a lot of people would probably be disappointed. I like the new design of it myself. I think it looks pretty sharp. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's awesome. But I don't know. RH, the only important thing is that Hector is running. On top of that, he just came and he ordered. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. Michael, me too. I usually do the car wash. Yeah, for me, it's a must. I'm just not doing it anymore. I mean, I would spend time outside washing the car in the heat, always in the sun, unless you get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, sweating all over the car while I'm washing it. It just seems counterintuitive to me. So I'm not doing it. Take it. That's a lot of words to text in. Yeah. M. Jones, my opinion, 11-to-1 compression is a bit high for 87 octane, in my opinion. I don't know. I can't speak to that. Sounds like you're a little more knowledgeable in that area than I am. Take it. You do not need premium gas in these motors. If you think you do, you are stuck in your old ways and need to touch grass. Interesting way to put it. I'm not familiar with that saying, touch grass. I don't know what that means. Mow your yard? Graze like a cow? I don't know what that means, but RH, what happened to all the hair on the top of your head? It's now on the top of my toes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Years of wisdom? Wee Fergie, where have you been? I got excited. Good to see you, buddy. I hope everything's all right. I've checked your channel a handful of times and noticed you haven't been doing anything, so I hope you're okay. Raj, I love diesel engines, to be honest. I don't drive fast. I've never had a diesel anything, so I can't speak to it. RH, my husband and I threw a party last night. Let's see. Now, you see, now you've moved into the range of things we don't want. So I got to put you in timeout. I think for 24 hours. You know better. You know better. Let's see. Eric D. There are rumors that Toyota is going to build a compact pickup for the U.S. market to compete with the Ford Maverick. I've heard that. I don't know. There's also rumors. By the way, you want to talk about one of the big rumors I've heard lately? Toyota is building a V6 turbocharged Toyota Tacoma for 2026. That's right. They're going to do it. They're going to build a V6 dual turbocharged Tacoma for 2026. Ain't going to happen. It'd be great if it happened, but that's not going to happen. That's infringing on the Tundra's territory. They're not going to do that. Not to mention they're not going to do it anyway. If you think this thing costs a lot of money, imagine what a V6 with a twin turbo would cost. You'd probably be looking at, I'm guessing $80,000, $90,000 for a Toyota Tacoma. Come on. People already complain about the cost of this one. They're not going to buy that. They're not going to do it. Todd Rowland, what's up from Middle Tennessee? Love your content. Keep it up. Still love my 24 Tacoma off-road. Hey, Todd, welcome and thank you. I appreciate that. Mike Wellington, the Helix is not available in the U.S. because it does not meet emission standards for some safety regulations. That's it. Well, that's true. However, if you think that Toyota is going to, forget that. Let's say it did. You really think they're going to bring in a Helix or Hilux, however you pronounce it, and they're going to park it beside a Toyota Tacoma and pull sales from the Tacoma, which is a more expensive truck, in favor of the Helix or the Hilux? It's not going to happen. They could easily change the emissions on the truck and bring it to the U.S. Hell, they could have redesigned this truck to be more like that one. It's not going to happen, and I believe there's more to it than that, in my opinion. Michael, how did the bed cover come out? Did you get it on? I did. I'll tell you, if you want to know, I'll tell you what happened. That project turned into, excuse me, went from about, let's say an hour to about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'll tell you why if you want to know. There is a video coming out on it, so I guess I'll be giving you the scoop if I tell you that right off. Raj, if you love a lot of torque at low RPM, you should try a diesel with a torque converter. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard of doing that before. I don't know. I'm not a diesel guy, really. It's not my thing, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not something I've ever ventured into, so I don't know. We need another sip of the green nectar here. And you know it's not really green, right? If you pour it into a glass, it's really more yellow. So, all right, let me tell you, let me show you. You want to see the tonneau cover? I'm going to scoop myself a little. Let me show you the new tonneau cover. It is the Backflip MX4. Let's go take a look. Out here in the 5,000 degree sun. You can see it on the truck there. It looks nice and clean. They always do until they get nice and dusty and dirty. It fits on there well. Everything works great. Hopefully there's no snakes in there. It does have the hoses up in the front. I did drill the bed to put those through. I didn't go with the little adapter things. I'm happy with it now, I think, yeah. Is it the highest quality you can get out there? I would say not. It is not the highest quality cover you can get. Now, while I'm at it, you know, I did do a video on fixing the bed rail caps, my little spacers I put in. Look at this. What do you see there? Huh? What do you see? Any lift? The tonneau cover is sitting on the bed rail. Look at that. It pushes up and down, straight up and down, but not in, right? The other side, it was up naturally from the plant. I haven't looked at it yet, but this is how it was. It hasn't changed. I can live with this. Not a big deal. And if you really were picky, you could just put a little bit taller spacer in there to force this way further than it is. But look at that. Does not push in. That is the fix. If you haven't seen that, I'm not even sure if I put the video out yet. I think I did. You got to check that out because I know a lot of people get very disgruntled about that cap because it pushes up when you put weight on it via a tonneau cover. Now, what happened, right? Why did an hour job turn into 3? Let me catch up with the comments here if there are any, and I'll tell you why. Excuse me. Let's see, Wee Fergie. Diesels are smelly. I kind of like the smell of the diesel, though, myself. Michael, I will wait for the video, LOL. The best mod I have done, the last was let's see, the best mod I have done, the last, was pair the front emblem. You must mean paint. Very simple to do. That thing, I've showed how easy it comes off, right? Rob L, why get a diesel if you don't tow? Makes no sense. Why get a blue truck or a red truck or an orange truck? Why aren't they all just white? Why not all white? This is a modding channel, baby. If we want a diesel, we're gonna get a diesel, even if we don't tow. Michael says, looks good. Anthony says, you didn't want the OEM trifold cover. No, I really didn't. And I'm not sure that it's any different. It might even be it might be the same brand. I don't even know. Or the same manufacturer branded for Toyota. It's hard to say. Mike Wellington, they won't because they know it will outsell the Taco. I don't know if it outsell it, but it certainly would take a bite of it. Raj, I live in a hilly region with steep inclines. The diesel which Toyota makes, which TC makes my driving very easy, especially if I have a load in the back. Oh yeah, there's definitely a place for it. Michael says, yes, paint, LOL, fast fingers. I got you. Wee Fergie, I love the smell of jet fuel in the morning. I can't say I know what jet fuel smells like, really. Red Rabba, how about a 2022? 2022 what? So what happened with the bed cover? I put the sides on, and then I hoisted the bed cover up there. If you've ever done a bed cover, you know, you put it up there and you sit it down in the channels, and those little white tabs are supposed to click in, right? I set it up there, one side clicked in, one side wouldn't. So I manipulated it, I moved it around, I took it off and on, it would not fit because the side rails were too close by about nothing, 1/16 of an inch maybe, 1/8. But they were too close. So I pulled the cover back out, I took the rails back off, and then I could not get them to go further over without enlarging the bottom of the holes where they screw into the bed rails, without enlarging those holes on the bottom so I could push them up a little bit and then out. Excuse me. In doing that, it fixed my problem. But Putting those rails on with the clamps and the screws and everything else takes time. The clamps they use to put the top part or the rail part on for the tonneau cover suck. They suck. And then once you get it on, you got to adjust it, front, back, sideways. While I'm pulling it forward, I notice the rubber channel in the rail for the tonneau pushed forward, and about this much of it's hanging out of the end of the truck. So I got to lift up the stupid tonneau cover again and slide that rubber piece back in, set the thing down. I mean, it just turned into one of those time-consuming projects, you know, because I wanted it right. I mean, I probably could have grabbed a rubber mallet and beat that tonneau in on the side. I'd never get it open again. I'd have to rip it off if I ever wanted to remove it. But I wanted it to be right, to function the way it's supposed to function, to snap into the holes like it's supposed to snap, the way that it's supposed to be, right? That's why it took me 3 hours. It was like starting from scratch, basically, time-wise. Otherwise, everything else was great. And don't be afraid. I mean, do what you're comfortable with, but don't be afraid of drilling the holes in the bed of the Tacoma. It's a composite plastic with a good step bit. It's very simple to drill, very clean hole, nice and round and smooth. I did take a file and kind of filed around the edges of it just in case there was anything rough in there. At least on my truck, and always check your own, there's nothing below the bed that you're going to drill into, like a electrical wire or anything crazy like that. I took a screwdriver and moved it up and down just to make sure. I've looked under the truck before. There's nothing in the way. So it worked perfectly. Let's see. Let's catch up. We got Wee Fergie sniffing jet fuel. I don't know if that's healthy or not. Red Raba 20. I don't know what you're talking about. Raj says, do you plan to put a canopy on your truck? Other than the tonneau cover that I just showed you, no. I don't know if that's what you mean by canopy or not. Michael, I see a post today that Toyota has seat covers for like $45 to cover the front seats. Do you know anything about them? And if so, how are they? I don't know anything about that. 45 bucks is pretty damn cheap though. And you're saying Toyota has these? I would be shocked. Toyota's selling anything for 45 bucks? You almost have to pay 45 bucks just to get on their site and look around. Eric, bourbon makes it better. I don't drink, so I don't know what to tell you. By choice, not because of a problem or any issue. I just choose not to. Did for years though. Got my fill. Adrian Herrera, so you're going to sell it since it's junk. I don't think you listened to the rest of the live stream. Maybe you just came in. I don't know. Brad's Place. There's a truck that will outlast me. Are you talking about this one? Mike Wellington, nitro, meth at the drag strip smells better than all. I don't know what that smells like either. Never really been to a drag strip. Again, it's just not one of my things, you know, I don't know. By the way, I always forget to do this. If you're, you know, just coming in here or whatever and you haven't, please click that subscribe button to the channel. I would appreciate it. A thumbs up would be nice. You want to drop a bag of cash at the front door of the channel, I'd take that as well. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be freaking awesome, man. Grease Spot Garage says, hello, RobMotive. Grease Spot, how you doing? Eric, trading it before the oil change. Not this time. This truck's here for the long run. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing to it and what I'm going to be doing to it. Stay tuned for that. Dustin P, thanks Rob, appreciate all you do on this channel and on the 4th Gen Tacoma group. Keep up the great work. Dustin, thank you so much, and you are a big contributor in that group. I appreciate it. And if you don't know what he's talking about, I have a Facebook group. It's called 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. Pretty simple to remember, a little wordy, I know, but if you think about it, 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. It makes sense, right? Check that out. Make sure you become a member over there. I know a lot of people like to show their builds and different mods and things. That's the place to do it since you can't do it in this format. Grease Spot Garage, Subdue. Grease Spot, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And anybody else who honors me with a subscription, because that's what it is. I get sick of seeing so many frickin' self-centered YouTubers out there. I mean, anybody who subscribes to the channel is an honor for me. I mean, you don't have to do that. Anybody that's a part of the channel or the group, there's a lot of conceited people out there that think you owe them something. You don't owe me anything. I know this. So for me, each and every one of those 46,000 subscribers to the channel and the 34,000 subscribers, members, on the Facebook group is an honor to me, because I know you don't have to do that. You don't. You don't have to stay either. So I appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Brad's Place. Yes, the Tacoma. Haha. Okay, I get it. Stick figure. Rob, you should add a roof rack. I've been down the roof rack trail. You know, I hear so many bad things about the roof racks out there anymore. I don't know if the quality has shrunk or what, but whistles and noises and vibrations and making the cab shake, and I hear all kinds of stuff. Plus, I just don't need one. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the look. It's not a good aesthetic for the truck, I don't think. At least none that I've seen yet. Maybe there'll be something, I don't know. Bill Dub, you will trade it before warranty expires, let's bet. Be careful when you bet your money there, Bill. First of all, I have no way to collect it from you. Brad's Place, man, I'm trying to build a 99 F-150 with a 4.6 motor. Worst decision ever made. I'm going to keep taking weight off and modding the motor till it blows up, though. My girl gives me motivation by hating it. So you're doing it out of spite. This is a spite build. It's funny. Wee Fergie, I didn't care for drag races until I went to one. Awesome. Nitro cars are nice. Top fuelers, great. Jet cars, awesome. They're interesting to see, but, you know, I don't know. I'd want to drive one myself. So, and I'm sure they wouldn't let me. Mike Wellington, $45. You can't even get the 3 charging cords for that. I know, right? $75 for that hugely expensive kit. Excuse me. It's one downside of drinking the green nectar. Those seat covers absolutely have to be purely cosmetic. For $45, they must be like those paper things they put on the table at the doctor's when you go in, right? That's probably what they are. And if you're lucky, maybe they say Tacoma on them or something. I don't know. But they can't be any good at that price. Mike Wellington, have you ever been, man, you are missing out. Go once, bring ear protection. Yeah. And I don't love loud noises either. I have pretty sensitive hearing. It's weird. Unless it's music, you know, Metallica, AC/DC, all the 80s hair band stuff, you know. Grease Spots Garage. Without the subscribers, it makes it hard to do this. I am just shy of 8,000 and loving the automotive community here. Wee Fergie, I enjoy being one of your subscribers, and I enjoy having you here. Wee Fergie has a channel, by the way, if you want to check him out. I think I don't know if that's how I first came across you or you came here. I don't remember. Grease Spot Garage. I also believe in helping support other channels because we all live the same thing. We all are. I am a full-time YouTuber, full-time social media. Between this channel, my Jeep channel, my other channel, all of the social media platforms, my Facebook group, keeps me kind of busy. M. Jones says, back to the golden nectar. I know, really. That's kind of what it looks like, and we won't go any further than that. Whoops, Mike Wellington. Ha! Self-centered YouTubers. I know exactly who you are talking about. Agree, 100%. Excuse me. Sorry if I'm blowing your ears. There's a lot of them out there, and it's so funny to me. Some of these people think they seem so entitled. And I'm like, entitled to what? People don't have to watch you. They don't have to do anything. So if you've got a good number of subscribers, be thankful. I'm thankful. because without you guys, it's kind of like I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself on the web. Kind of weird, you know? But that's how all YouTube channels are in the beginning, though. Brad's Place says, happy I found you. Glad to have you here.